Look to the skies. Alarm bells are ringing in the Northeast over flying objects seen hovering over New York and New Jersey in recent days. Now, many experts speculate these objects are some kind of drone. This was the latest seen hovering over New Jersey this weekend.
You know, when things like this are happening, it seems everyone starts to look up, like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is, if it's a natural phenomenon, because it could be, but this is why so many municipalities are now asking people to reach out and send their videos to them or to experts who might be able to sort out what they're seeing in the skies. But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved.
The government has been attempting to provide Americans with a sense of security. The FBI said in a statement last week that they have, quote, no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus.
And Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas posted on X, there's no question that drones have been sighted. It's also true that many reported sightings have turned out to be piloted aircraft. The technology we have deployed to New Jersey has confirmed this. But lawmakers are pushing for answers. Here was Illinois Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy on Fox News on Sunday.
Do you have any information about these drones that are flying over the United States right now? Is this China surveillance?
I don't know. But what I do know is that I think that the administration needs to be more forthcoming with information that they have. If they believe that some of these lights in the sky are civilian aircraft, then show us. Secondly, I'm getting a classified briefing along with my fellow Republicans and Democrats as to the nature of these drones. And so we need as much information as possible.
And New York Senator Chuck Schumer wrote on X, I'm pushing for answers amid these drone sightings. I'm calling for Secretary Mayorkas to deploy special drone detection technology across New York and New Jersey. And I'm working to pass a bill in the Senate to give local law enforcement more tools for drone detection. New York Governor Kathy Hochul chimed in response to my calls for additional resources, our federal partners are sending a drone detection system to New York. I am grateful for the support, but we need more. Congress must pass a law that will give us the power to deal directly with these drones.
Meanwhile, here is what Chief Executive Officer of Saxon Aerospace, John Ferguson, had to say.
That is a very serious deal, and everyone knows that the United States government, this administration, is pushing to get into a war with Russia. We all know that, we all feel it, we all see it, okay?
So everybody is abuzz about the drones over New Jersey, which I misspoke about when we covered this on Thursday. We played a statement from a White House spokesperson, and I misheard what she said. I thought she had said, we do suspect foreign interference. She said, we do not suspect foreign interference. So actually, she was ruling that out.
Yeah, absolutely. And fair play to you for
I simply misheard.
We're both making a habit of correcting ourselves when we have what we think are understandable errors at times. We didn't hear that correctly. But look, I think that this is one of these stories that A, exerts a lot of fascination with people, but B, partly does so because there's so much we don't know. One of the disadvantages of that is that then often people rush in proclaiming confidence that they can't possibly have or that can't possibly be based on facts as to exactly what is going on here. I do think that there are understandable reasons for suspicion of the government because, well, there are always understandable reasons of suspicion for the government, but there is this statement that they don't come from a foreign adversary, they're not concerned about it in that respect. The administration seems fairly relaxed about this extremely large number of drones over, the New Jersey and the New York area to some degree, and haven't shot them down or hasn't captured them in any other way. So you put 1 + 1 + 1 together there, and you go, these are actually government drones.
I think we are starting to arrive at the truth of this. Yes, that is exactly what I was going to say. I saw a tweet from my friend Ben Domenech, who is a commentator for Fox and for Spectator magazine, and he tweeted that the drones are following FAA regulations, flying with lights outside restricted airspaces, as you would if you were doing a federal testing protocol. He says that, in fact, the National, the National Air Warfare Center has announced programs like this in the past, and so it is very likely that this is a Defense Department contracted test of some kind, because they are not, if it was a foreign adversary, they wouldn't be necessarily abiding by such federal airspace restrictions, right?
Right.
Same thing with amateurs. Now, some of these things could be amateurs. Some of the things are just planes, right? There was a whole story about someone pointing a laser at one of these things, finding out it was, and then if you look at the tracking for planes flying over the air, it was probably a plane. So don't start just pointing your lasers at random things in the sky. But yeah, I think it's most likely to be our own government.
I think that is, on the balance of probabilities, most likely too. The one thing that perplexes me in that respect is, why not say it? I mean, even if you don't want to confess what is being tested or what is the purpose of the exercise, you could, could you not say, well, they are in fact, it is in fact a government program, but it's classified and it's a sensitive area, so we're not going to say what they are. Because by not saying that, you fuel or facilitate all sorts of very esoteric...
Right, they're gaslighting us right now. They're engaged in textbook gaslighting. Well, don't worry, it's not a foreign stuff. But, it's probably just like planes or something. Don't look too closely, it's fine. Don't look. Don't look up. That's like their official message we're getting from our federal spokespeople.
I do wonder as well, are there going to be more people, just hobbyists, joining the fun and just putting their own drones up there as well?
Go
and
forth.
All of that kind of thing is going to make this pretty messy. I think in ways this is a sinister story, in ways it's a just sort of crazy and somewhat entertaining story. But it does come at a time where, as you and I have talked about at other occasions, there's a lack of trust in government generally and in institutions generally. And so it is very fertile soil for people to be extremely suspicious of what the government is up to here, and assuming, we're just going to assume it is a government thing for the moment, why there's such secrecy and opacity about it. It's weird.
There's just secrecy by habit. That's what I always say. The government it has an inclination towards secrecy, even when it's not keeping a secret, even when it's not a harmful secret. They just do it reflexively. They, you know this from filing FOIAs and all that kind of thing. They'd redact a grocery list. They would just black out everything out of habit. So I think it's more of that kind of thing. Now, it is true there is again an uptick, a fascination, a suspicion of extraterrestrial objects, UAPs. That is something that has gotten more and more attention in the last few years as this David Grush whistleblower person came forward, as did some other whistleblowers, to make really salacious, really significant allegations that that spacecraft originating from elsewhere in our cosmos are in the federal government has those in their possession, and that bodies of pilots operating such things, which would be extraterrestrial life, were recovered. And there were hearings about that, and other people were identified who knew something, and then nothing came of any of it. Nothing. Where are the bodies then? If you know, show me. We'll do a January 6th. Take me. We'll raid the facility. Not actually advocating violence, just saying.
Just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear.
As you may be able to tell from my facial expression, I am somewhat skeptical of the UAP.
But this isn't gonna.
Always seems to.
You're not allowed to be skeptical. I'm skeptical, so you have to be. You have to be credulous and believing. We can't both be skeptical.
No, I mean it's just with the UAP thing. It's the lack of verifiable evidence. It's all reliant upon what various whistleblowers say without tangible evidence being brought forth.
But people believe these things because the government does mislead you, does lie to you, does keep things secret, and makes you doubt what you see with your own eyes. And that is not a healthy way, I think, for our government to operate in a free society, because it causes paranoia, justifiably so. We have a lot more to talk about today on Rising. Please stay tuned.